Every day, your biggest challenge isn't the world around you, it's the person in the mirror. It's the part of you that hesitates, doubts, and delays. But deep inside, there's a version of you that's stronger, braver, and ready to grow. If you can overcome your fears, your excuses, and your limits, you will unlock your true strength. And if you overcome yourself, you will become better than the rest. I, Napoleon Hill, have learned that the path to greatness doesn't begin by beating others, it begins by overcoming yourself. The real enemy is not outside. It lives within your doubt, your fear, your hesitation. True success begins the moment you choose discipline over comfort, action over excuses, growth over ease. When you master yourself, you unlock a power greater than talent or luck. Overcome yourself, and you will become better than the rest. Layer 1. Win the inner battle. Every day when you wake up, you face someone powerful. That person isn't outside. It isn't someone richer, stronger, or more successful. It's you. The only real competition that matters in life is the one you face in the mirror. If you can beat that person, the one inside your head who doubts, delays, and makes excuses, you can overcome anything. Most people are focused on what others are doing. They try to be better than their neighbor, their coworker, or someone they know from their past. But the truth is, your greatest challenge is not them, it's you. Your fears, your laziness, your habits, your thoughts. That's the real battle, and it happens silently, every single day. The person who becomes successful in life is not always the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest. It's usually the one who learns to push past their own excuses. It's the person who keeps going, even when they feel tired or afraid. They don't let their feelings make their decisions. They do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like it. To win this inner battle, you have to start with small victories. Wake up when you say you will, keep the promises you make to yourself, finish the tasks you begin. Each time you do this, you build trust in yourself. You stop saying maybe later and start saying, I'm doing it now. That shift makes all the difference. Think of a person who wants to become healthier. For weeks they've said, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. One day, they decide to stop lying to themselves. They put on their shoes, step outside, and go for a walk. Just a short walk, nothing big, but that small walk turns into a habit. They do it again the next day and the next. Over time, they lose weight, feel better, and grow more confident, not because of some big event, but because they finally won the small battle inside themselves. Or picture someone who wants to learn something new. They've always wanted to improve, but kept telling themselves, I'm not smart enough, or it's too late for me. But one day they decide to ignore that voice. They sit down and begin learning. Just a little. But the voice that used to say, you can't, gets quieter, and the voice that says, keep going, grows stronger. Winning the inner battle doesn't mean becoming perfect. It means choosing growth over comfort. It means doing what's right instead of what's easy. And most of all, it means showing up even on the days when you'd rather quit. This battle isn't won in one big moment. It's won in the little choices you make every day. When you choose to speak kindly to yourself, when you push through fear, when you finish what you start. Each of these choices may seem small, but together they build strength, courage, and confidence. There will always be days when your mind tells you to give up, to stay small, to play it safe. But you don't have to listen. You can choose to rise above. You can choose to fight for the person you want to become. And when you do that day after day, you become someone stronger than you ever imagined. So remember this. You don't have to beat the whole world. You just have to beat the old version of yourself. The one who gives in too easily. The one who forgets how capable you really are. Win that battle, and you'll be on the path to something truly great. 2. Set goals that matter. Imagine two people standing at the beginning of a long road. One says, I want to go somewhere nice, while the other says, I want to walk to the mountain because I want to feel strong, free, and proud. Who do you think will reach their destination? It's the one who knows exactly where they're going and why they want to go there. In life, many people say they want to be happy or successful, but they don't know what that really means to them. They chase things that look good from the outside but don't feel right on the inside. That's because they haven't taken the time to set goals that truly matter to them. A goal isn't just something to write down. A true goal is a picture of the kind of life you want to live. It's something that gives you direction. It should come from your heart, not from what others expect of you. It should make you feel excited and even a little scared, because it means you're reaching beyond your comfort. To set a goal that matters, ask yourself what kind of person you want to become. Do you want to be someone who leads, who creates, who helps others? Do you want to feel strong, peaceful, proud, or free? Then ask what actions can take you there. Goals should match your values, what you believe in and care about most. Let's say someone sets a goal to earn more money. If the goal is only about numbers, it can feel empty. But if their real reason is to provide a better life for their family or to stop worrying about bills, then the goal has meaning. That meaning gives them strength to keep going when it gets hard. Or think of someone who says they want to lose weight. That goal might come from a place of pressure or comparison. But if they shift the reason and say, I want to feel strong so I can play with my children and enjoy life more, the goal becomes something they care deeply about. That feeling gives the goal power. Goals that matter are personal. They come from deep inside. And when the days get tough, and they will, it's the deeper reason behind the goal that keeps you going. When the reason is strong enough, the effort starts to feel worth it. Now, setting the goal is just the beginning. Once you know what you want and why, you must break it into small steps. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You take it one step at a time. And with every step, you get a little closer. Even on days when it's slow, even on days when you want to give up if the goal means enough, you'll keep going. Sometimes people set goals that don't match their real dreams. They chase them, and even if they reach them, they feel empty inside. That's why it's so important to stop and ask, is this goal truly mine? Does it match the kind of life I want? If not, it's okay to change it. A real goal should bring peace, not pressure. Remember, a meaningful goal doesn't have to be big. It just has to be true. It might be something like, I want to wake up each day feeling calm, or I want to become someone my children can look up to. These goals might not impress others, but they'll guide you to a better life. When you set goals that come from your heart and not from outside noise, you begin to live with purpose. And when your life has purpose, every step becomes lighter, even the hard ones. You no longer just move through your days. You move forward, you grow, you build something real. So don't just ask, what do I want? Ask, why do I want it? The answer will lead you to the kind of life that truly matters. 3. Build strong self-belief. Think of a small child learning to walk. They stand, take a few wobbly steps, and fall. Then they get up again. They try, they fall, and they try again. They don't give up. Why? Because they believe they can learn to walk. That belief is strong, even though they've never done it before. Somewhere deep inside, they trust they can grow. That's the kind of self-belief we all need, not just when we're children, but through every stage of life. Self-belief means trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. It means knowing that even if you don't have all the answers right now, you can figure things out. It's not about thinking you're perfect. It's about knowing you are able to learn, change, and improve over time. Many people stop themselves before they even try. They think, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not good enough? These thoughts become heavy chains that hold them back. But here's the truth. Failure is part of learning. Nobody does everything right the first time. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to one thing: belief. The ones who succeed are not always the most talented or lucky. They are the ones who believe they can and who keep going even when it's hard. You build self-belief by keeping promises to yourself. When you say, I'll get up early, and you do it, you feel stronger. When you say, I'll finish this task, and you follow through, you start to trust yourself. And trust builds belief. It grows slowly, one choice at a time. Think of someone who wanted to speak in front of a group. They were scared. Their hands shook. Their voice trembled. But they did it anyway. The first time wasn't perfect, but they didn't stop. They did it again and again. Each time they felt more sure of themselves. They didn't start with confidence. They built it through action. Self-belief isn't something that falls from the sky. It grows through effort, through practice, through showing yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. There will be voices around you and inside you that say, you can't, but you don't have to believe them. You can choose to believe something different. You can choose to say, I can learn, or I can grow, or I will figure this out. Sometimes the world doesn't believe in you at first. That's okay. Your job is to believe in yourself until they do. And even if they never do, your belief is still enough. You don't need approval to move forward. You just need the courage to take the next step. Imagine someone who had a dream to start something new, a shop, a school, a new way of life. Everyone around them said it won't work, but they believed in it. They worked hard, stayed focused, and kept going when others would have quit. Over time, they proved it was possible not because others believed in them, but because they believed in themselves. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never fall. It means when you do fall, you'll rise. It means trusting yourself to stand back up, to keep going, and to keep growing. So begin with small steps. Keep your word to yourself. Try even when you're nervous. Speak kindly to yourself. And remember, the strongest belief is the one that comes from inside. When you build that belief, nothing can stop you. Not fear, not failure, not doubt. Because when you believe in yourself, you open the door to everything else. That's where your journey truly begins. 4. Resilience is real strength. Life does not always go the way we plan. Some days are calm and easy, while others bring storms we never saw coming. There are moments when everything feels heavy, when doors close, when people let us down, when our efforts seem to go nowhere. In these moments, it's not talent, luck, or skill that keeps us going. It's something deeper. It's resilience. Resilience is the strength to keep moving when things get hard. It's the power to stand back up after being knocked down. It doesn't mean you feel strong all the time. It doesn't mean you smile through pain or pretend that nothing is wrong. It means you don't give up. You take the hit, and then you take the next step forward. Some people think being strong means never falling, but true strength is shown in what you do after you fall. Do you sit after you fall? Do you sit there and let the failure define you? Or do you rise, wipe the dust off, and try again? That's resilience. It's quiet, it's steady, and it grows each time you face difficulty with courage. There was once a young man who wanted to become a teacher. He worked hard, studied for years, and finally applied for the job he dreamed of, but he didn't get it. He felt crushed. He could have said, "Maybe I'm not good enough," and walked away from the path. But instead, he learned from the experience. He improved his skills, spoke with mentors, and tried again. Months later, another opportunity came, and this time, he got it. What made the difference wasn't his grades, it was his resilience. Pain and disappointment are part of life. No one escapes them, but how you respond to them shapes who you become. You can let the hard times break you, or you can let them build you. It's a choice you make, one day at a time. To build resilience, start with small challenges. Finish what you begin, even when it's boring. Speak kindly to yourself when things go wrong. Be patient when you feel like quitting. These small acts create the habit of strength, and that habit becomes your protection in hard times. Think of a tree that bends in the wind. If it's stiff and brittle, the wind snaps it in half. But if it bends, it survives the storm. Life is like that wind. It tests you. But if you learn to bend, to be flexible, to keep standing even when the storm is strong, you'll grow roots that go deep. You'll be harder to shake in the future. Some people let one failure stop them forever. Others fail again and again, but keep going until they succeed. The difference is not in their skill. The difference is in their resilience. They understand that failing is not the end. It's part of the journey. When things go wrong and they will take a breath, step back. Rest if you must, but don't quit. Each time you rise again, you become stronger than before. Each time you choose to keep going, you build something unbreakable inside you. Remember, real strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "Try again tomorrow." Sometimes it's just getting out of bed. Sometimes it's holding on to hope when nothing seems to be going your way. And that is enough. So when life gets hard, don't ask for it to be easier. Ask to become stronger. With time, effort, and faith, you will. Because resilience is not something you are born with. It's something you build. And once you have it, you can face anything that comes your way. 5. Passion fuels the journey. There is something powerful that lives inside every person. It's not something you can see or touch, but when it's alive in someone, you can feel it. That something is called passion. It's the fire that burns in your heart when you do something you love. It's the feeling that gives you energy when you're tired. It's what makes hard work feel worth it and long days feel short. Passion is what gives meaning to effort. Without it, life feels heavy. You might do your work, follow your duties, and finish your tasks, but inside, something feels empty. You don't need to shout it to the world, but you need to feel it deep within. When you follow your passion, even the challenges become part of the joy. Sometimes people think passion is only for artists, singers, or athletes, but that's not true. Passion can be found in anything: teaching, cooking, building, farming, helping others, solving problems, learning, or creating something new. What matters is not what it is, but how it makes you feel. If it wakes you up with purpose, it matters. Passion often starts small. It's a quiet interest, a moment of joy, a task that makes time fly. You might not even notice it at first, but the more you do it, the more alive you feel. That's how you know it's real. There was once a woman who worked many different jobs. She was good at them, but something always felt missing. One day, she helped her neighbor fix a broken chair. She had never built anything before, but something about it made her heart feel full. She started learning about woodworking. She practiced every evening, not for money or praise, but because it brought her peace. Years later, she opened a small workshop, not to become rich, but to spend her days doing what she loved. Her life changed because she followed that quiet fire inside her. Finding your passion doesn't always happen in a moment. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you try many things before something truly lights you up. That's okay. Every step teaches you something. Every path shows you what feels right and what doesn't. What matters is that you keep looking, keep trying, and pay attention to what brings you joy. Following your passion does not mean everything will be easy. There will still be hard days. You may get tired. You may face doubt or failure. But passion gives you a reason to keep going. It reminds you why you started. It helps you rise again when you fall. Even when no one understands your path, passion keeps you steady. It's like a light in the dark. It guides you through fear, through confusion, through the unknown. And when others see that light in you, it inspires them too. Your passion becomes a gift not just for yourself, but for the world. You don't have to wait for the perfect time to follow your passion. You don't need to quit everything or start a new life all at once. You can begin with just one step, 1 hour a day, one small project, one act of joy. Let it grow from there. Passion makes life richer. It turns ordinary days into meaningful ones. It gives you a reason to rise, a reason to work, a reason to dream. If you haven't found it yet, don't give up. It's out there waiting for you to notice. And when you do, hold on to it. Let it lead you. Let it lift you. Because with passion, the journey becomes more than just a path. It becomes a purpose. 6. Learn and adapt daily. Life is always changing. What worked yesterday might not work today. The world keeps moving, and if we want to keep up, we must grow with it. Learning and adapting are not just for school or work. They are part of living a full and meaningful life. Every day brings something new. Some days bring lessons through success. Other days bring lessons through failure. But every day teaches, if we are willing to learn. Learning doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need special tools or a classroom. You learn by asking questions, by trying new things, by listening to people with different views, and by watching how others handle their lives. Even mistakes can be teachers. In fact, some of the best lessons come from falling down and getting back up again. Adaptation means being open to change. It means not getting stuck in your ways. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean it must stay that way forever. Sometimes the best path forward is a new one, even if it's unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Being able to adjust is a strength. It shows courage and flexibility. There was once a man who ran a small shop in his town. For years his business did well. He used the same ways to attract people and sell his goods. But over time, things began to slow down. People stopped coming as often. At first he blamed others, he said, times were bad. But one day, he decided to change. He started asking his customers what they really needed. He began offering new items, changed how he spoke to people, and even changed the look of his shop. Slowly, the shop began to grow again. He didn't just wait for better days, he learned. He adapted, and he moved forward. This is what it means to grow daily. You don't need to make huge changes all at once. Just stay open. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? Or what could I do better tomorrow? Some days you'll learn something about your work. Other days you'll learn something about yourself, your habits, your reactions, your thoughts. All of it matters. Learning also helps you stay confident. When you know that you can learn something new, you stop fearing change. You begin to trust yourself, even in new situations. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need the belief that you can figure things out. Adapting also means letting go. Sometimes we hold tightly to old ideas or ways of doing things because they feel safe. But to grow, we must release what no longer serves us. That could be an old way of thinking, a bad habit, or a pattern that keeps us stuck. When we let go, we make space for new things to come in. Think of a tree that sheds its leaves in the fall. It does not do this because it's dying. It does it so it can grow again in the spring. In the same way, we sometimes need to let go of old ways so we can grow into something better. The people who grow the most in life are not always the fastest, strongest, or smartest. They are the ones who keep learning and adapting. They are the ones who stay curious and open. They try, they fail, they adjust, and they keep moving forward. So don't wait for life to force you to change. Choose to grow, choose to learn, choose to adapt. Make learning part of who you are, not just once in a while, but every single day. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. 7. Protect your environment. Look around you. The people you talk to, the places you spend time in, the things you listen to, and focus on these make up your environment. And whether you notice it or not, your environment shapes who you become. It can help you grow, or it can hold you back. That's why it's so important to protect it. If you plant a healthy seed in dry, cracked soil with no sunlight, it will struggle to grow. But plant that same seed in rich soil, give it light and water, and it will thrive. You are like that seed. You have the potential to grow strong, to reach high, to bloom into something beautiful, but you need the right surroundings. Sometimes we don't realize how much our environment affects us. If you spend your time around people who complain all the time, who give up easily, or who make fun of your dreams, you start to carry that same energy. Their words become your thoughts. Their habits become your habits. Without even meaning to, you start shrinking yourself to fit their world. But when you're around people who believe in you, who challenge you, who lift you up, you start to rise. You feel braver. You aim higher. You begin to see more in yourself because they see more in you. There was once a young man who had a big dream. He wanted to build something of his own, but his close friends told him it was a waste of time. People like us don't do things like that, they said. For a while, he believed them. But one day, he met someone who had built a small business through hard work and determination. That person didn't laugh at his dream. They listened, encouraged him, and gave him guidance. Slowly, the young man started believing again. He changed who he spent time with. He worked harder, and step by step, his dream came to life. That's the power of a better environment. It gives you the space to grow into who you were always meant to be. You don't have to cut people off completely, but you do need to be careful about who gets close to your dreams, your time, and your heart. It's not just people either. The places where you spend your time matter too. If you're in a place that feels messy, loud, or stressful, it's hard to focus or feel calm. But a clean, quiet space can bring peace to your mind. Even small changes like opening a window, cleaning your table, or adding something that brings you joy can make a big difference. Protecting your environment also means choosing what you feed your mind. The stories you hear, the conversations you take part in, and the thoughts you repeat all shape your world. If you hear only fear, anger, and doubt, it will be hard to feel hope. But if you fill your life with truth, encouragement, and learning, you'll feel stronger each day. Your environment is like the ground where your future grows. If it's full of weeds, it's time to pull them out. If it's dry, it needs water. You can't always control everything around you, but you can make better choices. You can take small steps to build a place where you can grow. You deserve to live in a world that supports your dreams. You deserve to be around people who remind you of your strength. So protect your environment, respect it, shape it with care. Because when your environment lifts you, everything in your life begins to rise with it. 8. Master your time. Each person in this world has the same number of hours in a day, 24. No one gets more and no one gets less. But if you look around, you'll see some people getting a lot done, making steady progress, and living with purpose, while others always feel rushed, tired, and behind. The difference is not in how much time they have, but in how they use it. Time is like water in your hands. If you don't hold it carefully, it slips through your fingers. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. That's why learning how to use your time wisely is one of the most important skills you can have. If you can master your time, you can master your life. Many people say, I don't have enough time. But often, it's not the lack of time, it's the lack of direction. When you don't know what matters most, everything feels urgent. You jump from one thing to another, always busy but not really moving forward. But when you know what is truly important, you can focus your time on what helps you grow. Start by thinking about your days. Where does your time go? What do you do when you wake up? How do you spend your mornings, your afternoons, your evenings? Are you using your hours to build the life you want, or are they being wasted without purpose? There was once a man who worked hard but always felt tired. He was always busy, but nothing seemed to change. One day, he sat down and wrote everything he did for a week. What he saw surprised him. He had been spending most of his time doing things that didn't really help him grow. After that, he made changes. He started his mornings with clear tasks, gave more time to what mattered most, and stopped saying yes to things that didn't fit his goals. In a few months, his life looked completely different. Not because he had more time, but because he used it better. Using time well doesn't mean filling every minute. It also means knowing when to rest. Rest is not wasted time. It's how you recharge your body and mind so you can stay strong. Even a short walk, quiet time to think, or peaceful sleep can help you do more with the time you have. To master your time, you also need to learn how to say no. This can be hard. You may want to please others or avoid hurting feelings, but saying yes to everything means saying no to your dreams. Protect your time the way you would protect something precious because it island. Try starting each day with a clear thought. What matters most today? What small step will bring me closer to my goal? Just one task done with focus and care is better than 10 done in a rush. Time used with purpose brings peace. It helps you feel proud, not just busy. You don't need to be perfect. Some days will get off track, but if you keep returning to your purpose, if you keep choosing wisely, your days will begin to change. And when your days change, your life changes too. Time is a gift. It cannot be saved and it cannot be paused. It moves forward whether you use it or not, so take charge of it. Spend it on people you love, work that matters, and dreams that inspire you. Master your time, and you will shape a life that feels full, not just fast. 9. Lead with gratitude. There is a quiet power in being thankful. Gratitude may seem like a small thing, but it can change how you see the world. It can lift your spirit, calm your worries, and bring peace even on difficult days. When you choose to lead with gratitude, you bring light into your life and into the lives of those around you. Many people focus only on what they don't have. They think about what's missing, what went wrong, or what others have that they don't. This kind of thinking creates sadness and restlessness. It's easy to forget all the good things we already have: our health, a warm bed, food to eat, someone who cares about us. These things may seem small, but they are not. They are treasures. When you stop and notice what's good in your life, something changes inside you. You begin to feel stronger. You stop chasing happiness and start seeing that it was already there, waiting to be noticed. A thankful heart does not mean you ignore your problems. It means you face them with courage, knowing that even in pain, there is something to be grateful for. There was once a woman who lost almost everything: her job, her home, her sense of safety. For a while, she felt broken. But one day, she began to write down one thing she was thankful for each morning. Some days it was the sunshine. Some days it was the kindness of a stranger. At first, it didn't feel like much. But over time, those small notes helped her heal. They reminded her that life was still full of good things, even in the middle of hardship. Slowly, her hope returned. Her strength grew. Gratitude helped her rise again. Gratitude also changes how we treat others. When we are thankful, we become more kind, more patient, and more giving. We stop comparing ourselves to others. We stop wishing for what they have and start appreciating what we already hold in our own hands. We speak with more care. We listen more deeply. We love more fully. Being grateful also helps us in hard times. When things go wrong, it's easy to feel angry or lost. But if we can pause and find one thing to be thankful for, we create space in our hearts. That space brings peace. It helps us think clearly and act wisely. It gives us strength to keep going, even when the path is steep. Gratitude is not a gift for just the good days. It is needed most on the bad days. On the days when nothing feels right, when everything seems to fall apart, those are the moments when gratitude becomes your anchor. It reminds you that this moment is not the end, that you have made it through storms before, and that there is still something worth holding on to. You don't need anything special to practice gratitude. You just need to notice. Notice the way someone smiled at you. Notice the food on your table. Notice the air in your lungs. Every small blessing counts. And the more you notice, the more blessings you'll see. A grateful heart is not something you find. It is something you build, one moment at a time, one thank you at a time. And when you lead your life with gratitude, you bring peace to your mind, strength to your spirit, and love to your relationships. So begin today. Look around, look within, and say, thank you. Not because everything is perfect, but because even in the struggle, there is still beauty. Gratitude does not change the world around you. It changes the way you see it, and that changes everything. 10. Take the first step. Many people wait for the perfect moment to begin something new. They wait until they feel ready, until they have more time, more money, or more confidence. They wait for a clear sign, a push from someone else, or for fear to go away. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. The best time to begin is now. Taking the first step is often the hardest part of any journey. It feels uncertain. You don't know what will happen next. You wonder if you'll fail, if people will laugh at you, or if you'll regret it. These thoughts can feel heavy. They can stop you before you even try. But if you wait too long, life passes by and your dreams stay locked inside you. Starting doesn't mean doing something big right away. It can be something small, a short walk, a single page written, one new habit, one brave choice. These little steps matter. They build momentum. They help you grow stronger. Once you begin, each step gets easier. Your confidence grows. You begin to believe, not because everything is easy, but because you see yourself moving forward. There was once a man who dreamed of becoming a teacher. For years he told himself he wasn't smart enough, that others were better. He kept saying, maybe next year. But deep down, he wasn't really waiting for time. He was waiting for courage. One day, he took a deep breath and signed up for a class. Just one class. He was nervous, but he showed up. That first step led to the next. And within a few years, he became the teacher he always wanted to be. Not because he had no fear, but because he moved forward anyway. The first step is where everything begins. Every strong tree started as a small seed. Every long journey started with one step. Every dream that came true started with someone who was willing to try, even when they were scared. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing to act in spite of it. You may think you need to be more ready, but readiness grows through action. When you take the first step, you begin to learn. You begin to change. The path becomes clearer only once you start walking. You don't need to know every turn ahead. You just need to take the next step. Sometimes the first step feels lonely. Others may not understand your dream. They may tell you to be careful, to play it safe, but your dream was given to you, not them. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself enough to begin. Even if you stumble, even if things don't go perfectly, you will be further than you were yesterday. Mistakes are part of learning. Failure is part of the process. The worst mistake is never starting at all, because then you'll never know what could have been. There is power in beginning, in showing up for yourself, in saying, I may not have it all figured out, but I'm ready to take one step. That one step can lead to a new life, to growth, to strength, to purpose. So don't wait for everything to feel right. Don't wait for fear to leave. Take the first step now. Do it for your future self. Do it for the dream that keeps calling you. Do it because deep inside you know you were meant for more. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take one small step and then another. Before long, you'll look back and realize you're no longer where you started. You're on your way. And that journey all began with one brave choice to begin.